Welcome to Joyfully at Home. Today we're going to be making a special treat. I've made these many a times in the past years for different various pumpkin festivals, and they are a family favorite. Today we're going to be making pumpkin roll. To begin your pumpkin roll, first thing you're going to need is you're going to need 3 large eggs, and you're going to put those into your mixer. This is the very first and a very important step. Once you turn on your mixer, you're going to allow your eggs to beat till they're light and they're becoming thick. That's the first key to a good pumpkin roll. As you're in the beating process of your eggs, you'll gradually add a little bit of sugar. You'll stop every now and then and gradually add a little bit more sugar. You're going to incorporate a cup of sugar throughout the whole process, and then you continue to beat your eggs. Now that you have your eggs at a nice, light, thick consistency, and you have all of your sugar incorporated, again, that's a cup of sugar in 3 eggs until they're nice and light and thick. At this point, you're going to stir in 2/3 cup of pumpkin. It can be fresh pumpkin that you've baked from a small pie pumpkin, or it can be canned, but it does need to be pure pumpkin. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now your process is to stir in your pumpkin into your eggs. Once you have your pumpkin completely stirred into your egg and sugar mixture along with your salt, you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder. Make sure it's baking powder. It'll give it that rise. Teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. Now, if you have pumpkin pie spice and you prefer to use that, you can use 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice rather than the individual spices. Once you have your spices and your flour all mixed in and you have your batter mixed well, you will go ahead and put your batter into a greased and floured jelly roll pan, which is a 10 by 15 pan. I choose to use disposable aluminum pans because they give more flexibility when it's time to turn your cake out onto your towel that is covered with powdered sugar. Once your batter is ready, pour it into your prepared jelly roll pan and then just spread out to cover the entire pan. It will be a very, very thin cake, but that's the object of a jelly roll style cake. Make sure you spread all the way to your corners, and you try to make sure that your thickness of your cake is fairly even. Now that your batter is all in your jelly roll pan, we'll put it in an oven preheated at 375 for between 12 and 15 minutes. While our cake is in the oven, we'll go ahead and we'll make our filling that's going to be in our pumpkin roll. You're going to need 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. And you'll take that and start to beat that together. Get it mixed up a little bit. Then you're going to add a 1/3 cup of butter. It can be melted or softened. Mine got a little softer than usual, but it's close to being melted, and that's perfectly fine. Make sure to scrape down your sides of your cream cheese so it's all in your bowl, and then beat your butter and cream cheese together. Once you have your cream cheese and your butter mixed together, have a nice creamy mixture. At that point, you'll add a cup of powdered sugar. And then you'll blend those together and you will have your filling to set aside to fill your pumpkin roll with once it's cool. Once you're done mixing, you are left with a nice, smooth cream cheese mixture for your filling when your cake is cooled and ready to be filled. Once your cake is ready and completely baked, this is exactly what it'll look like as it comes out of the oven. Now we're going to invert it onto our towel that's covered with powdered sugar and go ahead and roll it up. And that is exactly what your pumpkin roll will look like as it comes out of its pan. Now that you have it on your towel with powdered sugar, you will go ahead and roll this up completely, starting at your shorter end, and roll until you feel your seam side is down, and you will cool it in your towel just like this. Now that your pumpkin roll is completely cooled, you'll gently unroll your towel. Keep in mind, you just keep gently unrolling your towel. It will look a little cracked, but that's fine. And you get it completely unrolled, and this is when we will go ahead and add our filling. Now that you have your filling ready, you can just add this and spread it out evenly. Get it all on there. You'll want to spread all the way to your edges. It's okay if you get a little bit that squishes out the sides. It's not a problem. But you'll want to make sure that you get your filling completely spread over your cake. Make sure you get all the way up, all the way to your edge and underneath your top edge. Continue to spread your filling until you have your cake completely covered. Now you'll use your fingers and your towel to go ahead and start rolling your pumpkin roll from the short edge. You can use a little bit of extra powdered sugar from your towel if you need to keep your hands from being completely sticky. This will be a slightly sticky process. Just slowly peel your pumpkin roll from your powdered sugared towel. You'll find a little cracking along the way, but that will be fine because that will continue to be inside your roll. Just continue to gently roll up and separate your cake from the towel until you have your pumpkin roll completely rolled up, and you'll rest it right on the seam, and that will be the bottom of your cake. Once you have your pumpkin roll completely rolled up, you'll want to chill. It will slice very nicely once it's chilled, and when you take your slice, you'll see just how nicely your filling fills your roll, and now you can enjoy.